Who's going fishing Sunday?
I am. Let's go.
Let's go.
I am.
I'm in.
What? Wait. Can you put that cat down?
Yeah.
The cat's in.
I was trying to be a Bond villain. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's warm by this fire, Buck.
We're not even in the fire. We need to jump in the current.
We got to cool off in the current.
I just want everyone to know, I mean, we say it all the time. You have 7 best friends when you tune into us every week.
And it's wild because we used to say that, but now it's so real.
And it was just a real existential morning, guys.
God, existential.
Did you short drift them?
Well,
That's a yes.
That's what the Canadians say, no bueno.
No bueno.
If there is a traditional Canadian saying, no bueno.
Welcome back to the Rotten River Pursuits podcast. You are in the current. This is reality outdoor radio where we connect you with the people, skills, and products you can trust. Guys, this episode is brought to you by the Tony Maja products, redefining the art of trolling bunker spoons since 1968.
What?
Check them out at TonyMajaProducts.com, where you can find all the rods, line, and terminal tackle you'll need to start trolling today. Get your shot at joining that 50-pound club.
How you doing? Where the bunk at?
Fish those famous Maja bunker spoons or magic mojos.
Maja.
Follow them on Facebook or Instagram by searching Tony Maja Products. I'm loving this,
Buddy, I
March
can tell.
Striper madness.
It's, you know what? It's good on him. It does look good on you.
By the way, I'm Steve.
I'm Will.
I'm Catfish.
It's Bucky. Hey, I'm Ryan.
This is Dave.
I keep forgetting.
You are so excited,
to do
bud.
the introduction.
It is awesome.
You just want to start talking about striper
Let's
fishing.
get into it.
Get right into the striper talk.
I'm sorry.
What do you want to talk about? Terminal tackle?
Yeah, let's talk about circle hooks a while.
Pyramid weights.
Since we're in the current, you're currently going fishing Sunday. Who's going fishing Sunday?
I am.
Oh, yeah?
I think I'm going to join you for the morning at
Are
least.
you?
Yeah. I'm going to try to.
I don't know. It might be too early, but I don't care. We're gonna roll the dice.
You're a lot like Jimmy cracking corn.
We went early last year.
What? I don't get it. No. Nary a careless get it.
I got out of the truck with a coat, a hoodie, a coat, wearing rubber waders and boots last year, and I woke up to Stevie coming down in shorts and a T-shirt. And I went, boy, it's a whole different ballgame when the sun comes up.
Yeah, when you get there at 3 o'clock in the morning versus 9:30 or
Versus
11:30.
when the sun's up.
Those darn.
But I mean, here's the thing:
Alarm
whether the bass are there or not, Stevie, the weather, it's turned. Right, we're past.
It seems that
the rough
way,
part
doesn't it?
of winter.
Yeah,
spring is on the horizon.
Spring is about to sprung.
It's sprung, and it was hard not to go fishing today.
It was.
I did go fishing today.
How'd it go?
Twice.
See how hard it was, bud.
It's a little early.
All right.
I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
Even if you're not catching them, you're out.
Yeah.
It's just good to be outside.
Yeah.
It's time again.
You can tell, though, whenever you have a brother long enough that you fish with, you can tell what's going to happen before it happens sometimes. Like, I know when I fish Sandy Point, I know Stevie's going to show up with McDonald's and bait, and he's going to set up to the left of me every time.
Yeah.
So I automatically fish exactly where I want to be, slightly to the left, because I know Stevie's going to come down and set up on the left of me.
That gives you a little room to the right. Is that what you mean?
It's nice down there, though. If you have not been to like Sandy Point down to Bay Bridge, Route 50 Bay Bridge in Maryland, it's a really cool place just to hang out, whether you're catching anything or not. Yeah,
It's a really nice boat launch, too. If you're trying to access the bay, great ramps. I think it's like...
There's going to be like 20 or so, right?
I was going to say 8 lanes, so accommodate 16 boats, if not more.
Anyhow.
But they've all been redone within the last 5 so many years.
And right out from there, if you go out into the bay, there's a big rock jetty.
Yep.
So technically, it's a really good place if you just want to try to kayak for the day, because you're out of a lot of the, you're out of. I don't want to say out of the danger, but you're out of the danger zone.
You're out of the quick traffic. I would say. Yeah.
It's a cool place to go back in there and just jig up and down on the rocks in the summertime.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I wish the guest we had on earlier in the week, Dave Sikorsky, I wanted to get a chance to talk to him a little bit more about the bay. What used to be, because people used to say how years ago they'd catch weak fish and flounder and spot, all these other stuff up there regularly.
Well, when you start to go across the bridge right there where the boat ramps are, the fifth pillar out, the fifth upright, whatever they're called, the uprights to the bridge.
Pillar?
Yeah, when me and the General Sammy P went to fish with Captain Joe Ramus, he took his boat out. We went striper fishing with him. He's docked not far from Sandy Point. You can see it from where he leaves his boat. And we were only between the fourth and fifth pillar out, which is not far at all. It's not even really past the jetty. And he said, like, in that area is where they like to, like, jig fish late summer for stripers.
What, maybe 10 or 15 feet deep?
Yeah, so even a smaller boat or a kayak is very accessible from there to go try that.
I've caught white perch, croaker, and spot in that area.
Did you?
Yeah, from launching out of there. Other than striper, too.
Yeah. And this time of year, it's nice to go down because there's nobody on the beach.
Right.
Really.
Right. And in 2 or 3 weeks, there'll be swamp down there when trophy season opens. I don't remember when that.
Well, they set aside part of that beach for fishing only.
Yeah, they
which
did.
is really nice.
That is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool idea.
And it's a quick walk from the parking lot to your spot. I mean, it's not a long hike at all. So it's what did you say? It's probably 50, 60 yards from the car.
Maybe.
It's not bad.
Do you bring out your cart?
I was just going to ask, do you guys have like
your
a
pier cart?
No,
fishing
not today.
wagon?
Only pier cart. Only piers for that cart.
It's strictly a pier cart.
Not like a beach wagon.
It doesn't
won't
hold
even roll
it
in
doesn't
the parking lot.
hold a pier net. Like,
It doesn't have the bigger tires that float on the sand.
You can pull it through the sand. I've used it to beach with my kids, but man, you gotta
horse it.
You gotta horse it. Your legs are burning by the time you get it.
Don't horse it, bud.
Yeah.
I was just saying, you get to know your brothers. So if you go fishing on a pier with Stevie and he brings his cart, it is meticulously organized until he starts fishing. Within 30 minutes of him fishing,
Get out of the
there
way.
are parts of this cart here and there and everywhere, and the cart could be sitting just in the way,
7
in the middle.
shopping bags.
Yeah.
I was about to say, where was the shopping bag?
They're in there.
Sharpen bags.
This time I'm going to cast out the axle and just throwing parts of the cart itself around.
Yeah.
You can truly tell you love it. Like just waiting for that day that me and Stevie got to spend that day down in Kent Island on the pier. It was like the most beautiful weather. The pier wasn't crowded, and just sitting around hanging out, like, having like a brotherhood day, man. It was a nice day.
Our pier day was nice too. We got all the catfish and white perch open.
Yeah,
It was warm that day.
It was warm.
We ought to make a day and go to the chop tank to that pier again.
Yeah.
Whenever you want, bud. Set it up.
I'm in.
That's a fun one too, because you can do 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
We could get down there at midnight and leave
Easy now.
the following midnight.
Yep.
I should take my kayak down and then
You could kayak out our baits.
yeah,
You could.
I'll change your baits down below.
That'd be
I
good.
think that's a huge misconception at the chop tank, because I've caught more. I've fished there a few times when I used to live like down. I used to work at Pier MC, living down Salisbury.
Salisbury.
Yeah, I lived down there
Knew
for
it
like
was
a
an
year.
S. Swimmy.
Salisbury.
And we did come
Samsonite.
back and fish that pier quite a bit.
Little
and
whale.
guys are casting as far as they can away from the pier, and I've caught more fish under it.
Yeah.
Almost fishing straight down.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy how that.
We were looking on a deeper. There's a grass bed.
there is, yeah.
Yeah, you could see there was a line.
Mm-hmm. And we did this in Florida. Remember, I was out there throwing my arm out, trying to throw as far as I could, and the guy with the 6-pack abs come over with all his buddies, all the perfect dudes, and
They
we're
all
like,
have 6-pack.
you only need to throw 12 feet out into like what's that little trough called? Is it a trough? like in the surf
channel.
Oh yeah.
That's where they all are. I'm casting 70, 80 yards out, killing myself to reel it in. He's like, no, they're in there, bud.
Well, what did you do new? Anything new?
Well, you guys are doing with all these updates and the talk about going down to the bay. Deaky's bringing up using these boat launches. I really wish I had a way to take advantage of a really sweet, nice boat launch, but I got that boat. It just doesn't have a running motor.
Not what I've seen.
Oh, wait a second.
Whoa.
It does have
Back up
motor.
a little.
You slow rolled that one.
I did. See, I fooled y'all.
What happened? You got some stink bugs in the motor?
No, my lower end was not full of stink bugs.
I hate that when it happens.
That's strictly a Bucky problem.
Gotcha.
No, I had some issues. I cleaned out the carburetor, and I wouldn't say I rebuilt it, but I tore it apart and put it all back together, and I could not get this thing running for the life of me.
Right.
And I had written it off.
I talked to you earlier in the day, and you were dejected.
Yes, completely
frustrated.
I was already searching, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. This motor that I had is done, in my opinion.
Right.
And it's too far gone, and I jacked it up.
Yeah.
So already working on plans,
running,
B's, C's, and D's. I had it running last year until we took it to the river for the first time. I've never had it running in open water.
Running.
Yeah.
In gear.
And the first time that I tried, Will watched me fail miserably.
Blah, blah.
You put it in gear and it says, nope.
No thanks.
Nope. So, let it sit pretty much on its side, gave it the winter to relax.
Yeah.
Pulled the carburetor, cleaned it out. I was like, this is going to be the year I make
this
a run.
This is a ticket.
Put it back together. I tried Tuesday night, all night. I couldn't even get it to stay running. There was no gas. It wasn't getting gas. And the only thing that it could have been, because everything else looks perfect, is firing off. Everything's right, except for this carburetor's not giving the engine gas. And I pulled the carburetor. I don't know about carburetors.
Right.
I'm glad you guys are all sitting down.
Relatively new to carburetors.
Yeah. That means he's going to get an article published in Carburetor Today.
That was a good one.
I've already started to draft it up. And
marine carburetors.
Like I had written it off. I wrote to you guys in a message, hey, the motor's not working. I'm going to try this, going to try that. Working on my backup plans. B, C, and D were already getting put into effect.
Yeah.
And then yesterday.
You need to find an anchor point.
I do. Well, yesterday, I'm driving home from work, and I get a phone call. I picked it up. I said, hello? And then I heard, you home tonight?
Who could that
was
be?
it?
I don't know. You guys tell me. Who was it? And I was like,
sounds like
Mom?
My good buddy Catfish. Mom?
And
Mom.
He said, let's get this motor working. I'll be there at 6:30.
Did he say that?
Pretty much.
He doesn't say that unless he really means.
But he hasn't
ain't
seen it. He's never physically laid eyes on this thing. But
that doesn't matter.
But he was ready to put in whatever effort it took. And so Catfish showed up, 6:30 on the dot, and we walked down to the boat. And I don't know.
I laid hands upon it.
He did lay hands upon it.
Catfish did.
The thing was, I had taken the carburetor apart, and I was really, really worried that I destroyed this motor.
That you put it back
because
together.
I put it back together wrong.
Yeah.
And explained everything to Catfish, what I did, what I'm dealing with. We looked at it. We tried to run it a few times, threw some ether in it. It'd fire up, but wouldn't hold, not getting any gas. We pulled the carburetor off. He's going through it. He reassured me I didn't screw it up.
Yeah.
It's put together proper, which immediately made me feel better.
Big relief.
This boat's not running at all.
Thank you, brother.
But I feel better already. And what we're assuming is there's something in the jets. Am I saying that right?
You are, and it to your benefit, it's a small carburetor in size.
Yeah.
So in order to put it back together properly, everything in it is small. It would not be it wouldn't be hard to knock things around, lose a spring, whatever, screw the float,
pins or whatever.
Yep, screw the float up, knock the jets out. Yes. There's a high-low jet in it.
Yeah,
and they were clogged, and they're extremely hard to open because nothing fits in them.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's where I guess luck was on my side. I'm used to working with small equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
go on.
Those are your words.
And luck was a lady.
And luck be a lady that night.
Luck
I'm
be your mom.
gonna point this out. Catfish actually said that I did a good job.
Nice.
Cleaning the carburetor.
He doesn't normally say that.
He
to
never
another guy.
says
He
that.
never does that.
So.
But he did say I did a pretty good job cleaning it out. But for some reason, we must have gotten something, clogged that jet. The only solution is going to be soaking this thing.
Yeah.
Soaker.
So we had it back on the motor. We talked about what the plan was going to be. And then he looks at me and he goes, one more cast.
Pull it again.
It's the equivalent of one more cast. He says, let's just try it one more time, and then we'll pull it off and soak it. I don't think I even had a quarter of a pull on that pull cord.
And
it purred.
Really?
Like a kitten.
Lay your hands on me.
We had to adjust.
Lay your hands on me.
We had to adjust some things when
Easy,
we put it in
Bon Jovi.
gear.
Lay your
When you put it in gear, it
hands
slammed
on
into
me.
gear, so we had to adjust the low valve.
Oh, yeah.
But
I heard that a million times.
it purrs now. It pops in gear without moving, and
Yeah, it was
kicking water.
it
all
was
over your
absolutely amazing. As we like to say around the table, thank you, brother, thank you.
Good on you.
All it needed was a little blowing. You're welcome.
Yeah, we got the jets.
It seems like
cleaned
all
out.
you have to do is clean out some kind of hole in these boats, and you're going to be good.
You're ready to roll.
Well, this one actually, when we took it apart and pulled the float bowl off again to make sure the springs and everything were in the right place, there's two little tiny tubes that have to be opened up into the jets, and they create a vacuum. And it's not pleasant. I mean, if anybody's siphoned gas before, you can't get like an air hose in it. You have to do like CPR to this little tiny carburetor and blow through it with your mouth. So like your lips are like just gasoline, but it's what it took to kind of just
I was
force
doing
it
the chest
open.
compressions.
Yeah.
You guys are 30-1.
Yeah.
ACLS, a little bit of.
I think this motor is going to do really good for your boat. I mean, when I say a small carb for the listeners at home, like it'll fit in the palm of your hand. It's a small little carburetor, so to work on it's very difficult. How much trouble did we have just getting a screwdriver to the low valve?
Yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Does this stuff happen in like newer motors, or is this like
It's any motor.
this is old stuff?
This is today's ethanol gas more than anything.
Really?
Other than just with true non-ethanol gas, it'll happen because of sitting.
Yeah.
And
happen to anything, lawnmowers, whatever.
You're seeing it more because of ethanol gas.
Gotcha.
Because it breaks down quicker, and it absorbs moisture. So therefore, like you're adding the non-ethanol gas will pull moisture from the air, and that will sit in your carburetor and then gunk up everything.
It actually gets you've left gummy worms on your dashboard in August. I mean, who hasn't? So
They don't last that long.
Yeah, it kind of gets in those jets that go into that carburetor are so tiny. You could not put a human hair through them. Like, I don't know how. I actually don't know how they CNC them like that. But there's no way to clean them, but either let them sit in a cleaner or blow them out with an air hose. But you're right, that ethanol gas gunks them up, and it don't take much to clog them at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we did. You guys did work.
Yeah.
Good. That's cool. That's a big step in the.
It was such a great feeling though. Once we were playing with those high and lows.
What's the replacement engine cost?
Ooh.
I'll tell you what it would have cost is a new boat.
Probably a new boat.
I wasn't getting a new motor. I was getting a whole new boat.
Really?
We could have traded it in on that one at Bass Pro you were looking at.
I was already working on that one, trying to figure the numbers. I was running some numbers.
Gotcha.
Even with getting new gas from the gas pump, buying a new gas can, everything's brand new gas line, you should still put a $10 inline fuel filter on the hose, on the gas hose itself.
Yeah.
Because one little speck of anything can clog them jets up. For $10, it's worth the headache of trying to paddle back, which is probably going to be an upgrade that we throw on your.
That was something. I mean, after we got this thing purring and we were letting it run, we're going over some things. There is a number of items I'm going to be adding to the boat. One of them's that inline fuel filter, but then also just some tools to have on the boat because I don't want to be stranded. There's some things I know that I need to have out there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work on my little emergency kit to add it to the boat.
That'd be a great talk. We could talk about that someday. Things that trial and error that you can put on your boat to save you hassle later.
I always carry a paddle.
This thing's
on
not
my
going
boat.
to the bay. And this thing isn't going in the river unless the water's perfect. But I am just such a relief to have a running motor on this boat, and I cannot wait for what this year's
I
got.
can't either.
It feels good to know that you can walk down the garage and fire it up.
We have some business to do.
We do.
Because we got stranded on the bank last year.
Sounds like a revenge trip to me. Now let's dive into this here a little bit because I was kept out of this loop of this story last year. I don't know where I was on vacation, a cruise. Maybe
Everyone was busy, but Ryan and I.
I think I was on the cruise and I came back and heard the story of your mom not running.
Yeah,
and you guys tried to go to Gut Road. Is that true?
Here was the thing: we went fishing in the morning with Stevie, but you had to leave. You only had a couple hours. Most of us only had a couple hours, and then Will looked at me as we're paddling out, and he said,
"Catfish ain't around. Let's go catch catfish."
He goes,
"Thanks,
no,
buddy."
He said, he was asking what one of the fishing poles that we had on the boat that Hunter was using was for. I was like, oh, he got that, for catfishing.
It looked like the spitting image of a catfishing rod.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometime I told him, I said, sometime we're going to try to get out on the river with this thing and catch a catfish. And Will looked at me and he goes, I've never caught a catfish without catfish.
I've heard this same statement from someone
a couple times.
So he was ready to make it happen. And I looked at him and I said, well, here's the thing. We've got the boat. We've got fishing rods, but I don't know how the setups work. We don't have any bluegill. I don't have an aerator for this cooler. And so then we ran down that list. All right. Well, there was a Walmart about 20 miles away.
Mm-hmm. Catfish is on a cruise. Let's raid his bait tank.
Well, no, actually, what Will did was he sent Hunter and I then to the Conewaga Creek.
Yeah.
And we went fishing for bluegill.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear that part of the story.
We filled up the cooler. What did we have? We had about 18 or 20 bluegill.
25. Yeah, it was a lot.
Plenty for a night fishing. Yeah.
We were ready. And he went and
rigged
got
up
setups.
leaders. I got setups. I had.
Because you know how to set them up. Yeah.
I figured it out. I watched some YouTubes. I'm like, that looks a lot like what Catfish did.
That's it. And we were ready.
The YouTubes.
Everybody was ready, but
we had rods sticking out everywhere out of all the boats, and then we sat on the bank, and it kept getting darker and darker and darker, and we just.
Well, this was after the second pull on that motor is when the pull cord broke.
No, I hate that.
I feel the pain.
And I was standing waist deep in the water and redid the pull cord.
Oh my!
That's the worst. I need a weed eater lawnmower.
We weren't exactly like 25 miles in the middle of nowhere with no signal and with bears around, but
let's get this thing
it still felt pretty terrible.
It's great. We were trying to take a hot shower in Canada, and Bucky, go pull the generator cord. And now this is for the whole camp, 30 campsites. And Bucky pulls that cord, about punches himself in the jaw.
First time in my life I get the strength of Samson.
I walked over. There's bears around. He's holding his cord up in his hand like it's a decapitated statue. Look at this,
it was like Tommy Boy. What did you do, Richard?
That was good. I remember that.
Oh man, sorry.
It has to be a struggle though to know that you did the work.
Yeah.
Like it takes work to go catfishing. You did all the work, and then to get there, and it's even then you fix the cord. And then it still wouldn't run. That's a frustration.
We had everything but the reward.
It was up and down. You had the highs and lows.
Yeah.
Like there was so many of them. Like we were like, the cord broke. Oh, this is miserable. We fixed the cord. Yeah, we're back in business. It was like it just
The highs and lows.
but then we eventually had a time of death, and we were just we got to call this.
I'm calling it.
Yeah, that's a commitment to get bait and drive all the way there, haul a boat down there, get to where that is because it's not your typical paved road area.
And
So
I had the kayak too. Like I'm like
I was in the water, and I told you, I said, just go,
just go,
man, leave us
But
here.
I was literally like, I can tow this boat with my kayak.
did you have the orange? You had the orange. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
It made for a good story, and it gave us a lot of lessons learned. It prepared us, I think, for what will come this summer.
I had this overwhelming feeling one night. I think I was on the cruise boat and I was sitting at dinner, and I could not concentrate on any of these strangers that were talking, as I had this weird hair on the back of my neck standing up feeling that somebody's at Gut Road without me. Somebody is out fishing without me.
Catfishing behind my back.
It was Hunter.
Oh, nobody catfishes behind my back.
I'm glad you guys tried to. Now, here's the thing. Redemption trip this year should be fun because, as long as the water's, 5 foot plus, you should be able to get that down there and back. It's a lightweight boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to make it happen.
But technically, that last 60 feet, 80, 90 feet right there to the boat ramp, if you have to get up over that ridge, that rock ridge, you could jump out and pull it over that. Yeah.
That was that rocky ridge that we were trying to figure out how we were going to maneuver the boat over to get out into the water.
Yeah, I always get out there and just.
Then we didn't have to worry about it.
And the worst part, I think, was this dude in this little river ninja.
The river ninja.
He comes up. He has a jet engine.
I've seen him down there a lot.
Oh, and it's such a sweet little. It's a tiny boat. It's like a little Corvette.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a.
It's 18 foot.
It's actually 17'6".
So it's like a Mazda Miata,
and it's
not
got
not a Corvette. But
it was like a Stingray. Like
it's got a Skyjacker plate on it with a fairly decent sized little jet engine.
He's probably got a full head of hair and 6-pack abs too.
Yeah.
Well,
at least he doesn't have an 8-pack of abs.
But he, I mean, he pulled in there. he swung her sideways and was like, yeah, runs up and gets his truck with the trailer,
his diesel.
Yeah,
what's going on, guys? You guys,
it's
nothing. Look away.
It's amazing, depending on where you fish and what
Divert
you
your
fish, what you fish for.
Just trying to get your ball rolling here.
The setup of your boat is super important. Depending on where you're fishing. That river ninja is not going to be any good to somebody that's going to be striper fishing in the bay.
No, but I would love to have that river ninja. That's a sweet little ride.
Yeah.
It's really called a river ninja.
Well, it's painted on the side of his boat.
Oh.
I sent a picture of it to you. He had it for sale for a while.
Self-proclaimed river ninja.
Oh, man.
Anyway, anybody else got anything new? That's cool. I'm happy you got that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I was in Delaware and not fishing, not doing any outdoorsing the past 2 weekends. We're doing some.
All right, then.
We're doing some renovations.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But on the menu at one of the restaurants, I've heard of this, but I've never seen it, was muskrat.
Is that really for
It was
reals?
for real. And it's not like it was. They serve legitimate muskrat.
I've seen
Did you try it?
an
I did
Andrew
not try it because I
Zimmern
was there for breakfast.
episode where they
You can't eat it for breakfast, or you said?
I wanted
Like
hams.
whole?
Yeah.
Not before
Like whole
Lent.
muskrat?
I don't know how.
Give
Like
it up.
with
served it.
waffles?
I need to
they, like,
investigate.
cook it
more.
down, like they slow cook it down,
Yeah, like
I
over
get
potatoes
pictures
and
like pot
carrots.
pie or something.
coming off the pit like a pig with like a grape in its mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
But like the Eastern Shore has
muskrat.
like festivals, like muskrat festivals.
Yeah, like that's like a known delicacy in that particular part of Maryland.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke when you sent it.
No,
I laughed.
it was right above the salt.
Here I was
crabs.
laughing at these
Yeah.
Yeah,
muskrat
like, some of their
eaters.
festivals
I
they'll have
made a
like
note in my
cleaning
journal. It said,
contests.
DK made a hilarious muskrat joke.
If I'd have seen that on the menu,
Deke
I'd
made
had
it
to order
funny.
it just to try it.
If I'm back there at dinner time, I might have to order it just to.
Well, get something else along with it, just in case you
Muskrat
don't
and
like
eggs,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Get
Get
it for
some
breakfast.
mac and cheese.
Side of
Like
mac.
a muskrat appetizer.
Yeah, yeah.
Muskrat mac and cheese.
Muskrat and cheese.
But that was just something I've never actually.
Yeah.
I've never seen it physically on the menu.
I never
so.
did.
Where was that again?
That was Southern Delaware.
I'll eat
Okay.
it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try it. Why not?
I'll try anything once.
I wonder if they're farm raised,
I think they're
like
called.
wild,
It's good.
wild caught muskrat.
Yeah.
Free range.
I only eat free range muskrat. Stevie's snobby about his muskrat.
Even farm raised muskrat.
Grass fed.
Sounds a little off.
Grass.
Gluten free muskrat. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's for like the metro crowd though.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, it's
City folk eat that.
yeah.
it's just one of those things though that it sounds like it has to be tried at least once.
Yeah.
Gotta be good.
Nope.
Well, you also, Stevie, you
That's a
don't
hard
eat
pass for
soft shell
Stevie.
crabs, though. You think that's disgusting.
Have you ever ate one though?
Here's my thing with the crab. Like
Crab.
I use
A
crab
soft shell crab.
Yeah, but it's a
those
hard
are
shell
delicious.
crab.
It's a
at one point.
molting crab,
Yeah.
right?
So I use crabs for bait a lot, even blue crabs, and you pop the lid off of them, and there's lots of stuff in there that I wouldn't want to eat.
Oh, but you fry it all out. It's good.
How do you fry out the lungs and the mustard and all that stuff in there?
I think they clean
That's
them
a
a
good
little
question. I'm on
No,
Team
I
Stevie
don't
with
think
this.
they clean much at all, Deke.
How are you on Team Stevie? You
The
eat
mustard's
anything.
the good part. The lungs aren't supposed to be
soft
so
shell.
good for you.
But how do you?
The mustard's still in it when you eat the
You lightly batter
fried.
them. It's almost like a tempura batter, and you pan fry them.
I'd just like to say that that mustard doesn't
put 'em
taste
on
at
a-
all like mustard.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know
guys
what the
call it
technical
mustard.
term.
I
It
don't,
looks like
I don't know,
mustard.
but I think it's a delicious sandwich.
Schmutz. It's schmutz.
So you've had soft shell.
Oh, yeah. I'll eat it.
I love soft shell.
Don't look at it and eat it.
Nope.
I'm a hard pass on that.
You're a carnivore, bud.
Yeah, I'm no problem with
Bite on
you
into
would
it.
Have at it, but yeah, good one.
They're delicious.
I'd-
I'll
I'd-
eat your share then.
I'd like a muskrat skewer with a side of soft-shelled crab, please.
If we could get confirmation on what's left in
Where's
there.
the mustard?
Where are the lungs? Where's the mustard?
The mustard's definitely in it. I'm not sure about the
What is it called? We keep calling it mustard. Like
That's
the
people on the Eastern Shore call it mustard.
It's like
Okay.
the dark matter of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I don't know.
schmutz.
Oh, you want to know what the
schmutz,
mustard
yeah, like
is?
what is the mustard?
Consult Bucky. He'll about 10 minutes from now he'll tell us.
When it dawns on me,
If anybody knows what that's called,
They only call it mustard because it's like a gooey
It
yellow
looks like
substance. But
nasty mustard.
I'm pretty sure it's like the poop that backs up inside of
Oh
it.
yeah, fry it
I
up.
don't think so.
Hey, we all have Google. How about
These
Ross look
sandwiches
it
are
up?
sounding better and
Yeah.
better.
Ask
Let's
Google.
not speculate.
Google, what is crab mustard all
Maybe
about?
it's like the chitlins.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I put mine
While
to bed
Deke's
earlier.
figuring that out,
Chitlins in small intestine.
while Deke's figuring that out, Stevie, did you do anything new?
Nope.
You had a pretty late week, didn't you? A little fishing here and there, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, very late week.
I
Hey
found
Dave,
it.
what you got for
What
us?
is it, Deke?
We're gonna need Bucky to read it because there's some sort of medical
Big
word.
words.
Oh boy, that
Big
looks
word.
Latin.
Yellow substance found inside a cooked crab. Contrary to popular belief, the quote mustard end quote is not fat. Rather, it's the crab's hepatopancreas.
Ah,
Bless
There you
you.
go.
That's
It's a biliary
delicious.
tree.
It's like it's a liver and it's liver pancreas, the organ responsible for filtering impurities from the crab's blood. So it's
gotta
like
be
our
good
filter
for
and pancreas.
Yeah, so
in
it's
our
like
body.
Crab
pate.
liver.
It's crab
Yeah.
liver.
It's crab pate.
Yeah.
It's the filter that's supposed to pull out all the bad stuff.
Well, we eat liver in every
You eat liver.
we.
I only eat
the
liver
royal we.
in the worst form. Liverwurst. That's the only time I'll have it.
I did not see that
Good.
coming.
I didn't either, man.
That was a curveball.
Man, that flew
That was
right
pretty
over
good,
me.
even for you.
Thanks.
I like that. Bubby, you had a pretty fun week, right?
Does anybody else want to go before me?
I just want to say I hate bait casters.
I do have one thing to say.
Low profile bait casters.
Those
low pros.
Yeah.
Because I did something else other than come over here and hang out with Ryan.
Did you build an AR out of a chainsaw?
I'm working on it.
Gotcha.
So in order to work on those projects, I had to clean my garage.
Yeah.
Last Sunday was fairly decent. I opened up the garage doors, and my garage looks like I got rid of stuff.
Really? Purge.
Every different size screw, nut, and bolt is in its own container of hundreds of thousands of projects over the years, which took just dumping boxes and coffee cans out and arranging. It was mind-boggling. It was a lot of Mad Max over and over and over again.
Really?
So here's the thing. The garage then became the best it's looked in 10 years. Then I went in.
It pretty clean for Mike D. I mean,
It was better than that.
It's better than Mike D. did.
Yes. You can get on and work on the workbench. You can see the wall behind the workbench.
What?
Now, I went into the washer and dryer room, which when we bought the house was supposed to be my room to do whatever I wanted to with it.
Right.
So you put a washer and dryer in it. Makes
Had
sense.
a washer and dryer.
This is what I want.
It's
I like clean clothes.
I decided to clean this room out, like get rid of stuff. And it all started with buying new totes, putting my hunting gear away in organization, fox, goose, whatever, blah, blah. I went behind that bar, that L-shaped bar that's been there for 10 years, which I'm deciding, all that's gone. It's coming out, cutting it up, burning it.
You found a case of hams.
This room is so wide open. I went behind the bar, and you know what I found? Lacey said, quote unquote, the burn pile, which we do put boxes there. Boxes that the cans come in, the soda comes in. We got a burn pile like everybody else does, old mail. I must have found a stack of flattened boxes, at least 30 or 40 of them.
Just corrugated.
They're all Stitch Fix boxes. If you don't know what Stitch Fix is,
Yeah, I remember that.
my wife gets clothes sent to her every 2 weeks, and she can either buy them or send them back. I did not realize this, but there are mountains of boxes. So I asked her about them, and I said,
That's
wait
not
a
always
second.
cheap either.
I
I
saw
thought she was supposed to use the box to send them back.
No, there's a bag that comes with it. You send a bag back. So I started looking. I said, let me see your phone. I saw a picture on your phone the other day of you in some clothes. There are thousands of pictures of her taking pictures of her in these clothes because all her girls at work are addicted to the Stitch Fix thing. And they all send each other pictures of them in all their clothes, whether they buy them or not. And I went, you have an issue. This is where all my monster money is going. But she has looked really nice in some new clothes lately. I wondered
Head
where it
on
was
over
all.
to stitchfix.com.
Yeah.
Put in the discount code CF15.
The garage and the other room are starting to look pretty amazing. But if anybody's moving in the next couple weeks, I have hundreds of Stitch Fix boxes you can use to move with.
Get them before they burn.
I looked at her and I said, you've never hidden anything from me in the last 15 years. You've never hidden anything from me. Why did you put the boxes back there away from everything else? She said, that's the burn pile. I went, it's just crazy that they're in the back where I can't see them.
I hate to say this, but you don't know that she's never hidden anything from you.
Well, it must have been behind the bar for 10 years because... Oh, God bless her heart. Anyhow.
This is why you don't clean.
I'd found something in my house that I did not know was there. So
Don't go digging up bones, bud.
I found five reels I didn't even know I owned.
What?
Yeah.
I put them on the thing.
Stevie needs to see this.
I had to tell that story before we talk about this big topic that you had a huge week. Only because if Lacey listens to this, I want to make sure I picked on her properly.
Yeah, and not to mention she joined the pro staff.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I don't think we said about that. We mentioned it.
Yeah, Lacey picked up a Muddy Girl Country Pro staff, so that's very cool for her.
Good for you.
Really
Good for her, Lace. That's awesome.
And she set herself some goals this year, so it's cool. She's going to start to shoot archery more, but she's definitely going to wear her Muddy Girl and kill her gobbler this year. And if anybody can do it, it will be her. I said this to the guys up at Muddy Girl Country. I think when the turkeys come out and they see that pink camo, they're like, "Ooh, what is that?" look at that happy tree over there. Like there's that pink fern bush over there. And they come running into her. That's how she shoots all them turkeys.
I think that if she does that again successfully, then we're getting Bucky outfitted.
Yeah, we're putting you in Muddy Girl country.
Till he kills one.
Muddy Buck.
Muddy Buck. Easy there.
We got a little bit of time left, and I'm actually really excited to hear about your week because it's not been your typical going to the movie, sleep in type week. You've been busy.
No, it's been pretty chaotic.
Will called me this week. You actually started off saying, I got like 3 or 4 things to do this week, and after about 45 minutes of talking, I went, you got like 3 or 4 months of stuff to do. But
better get started.
That's always more than a bunch.
It never ceases to amaze me how you shoot for the stars and don't stop till you get there, man. So, I mean, some of the ideas that you have for, working with people and expansion on what we're doing here at Rotten River Pursuits is pretty astounding. And we can take this even, more steps forward towards people we want to help than we could before. And it's going to be great.
It's a long time coming, like I've said in the past, and you'll never accuse us of running with scissors. We're not that way. It's got to make sense, and we'll take the steps, and we're here. You know what I mean? Literally here. So we have a parent company now that kind of oversees education, how you can.
A one-stop shop to get your podcast on the
up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's a beautiful thing. This is our 3rd season. We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And we've learned a ton. And I think that we can definitely offload some of this information to people that want to get started. And
I don't think a lot of people out there that might know this either is like we don't just sit down for an hour a week either. Like the podcast lives this. We do multiple episodes a week. There's multiple guys that edit. It is truly a brotherhood that collaborate. Like, what's that word I'm looking for?
Collaborate.
Collaborate.
Words are hard, but it's.
I almost messed it up.
Yeah. But it's. It isn't something that we in 3 years that we've taken lightly. It's a life.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
And we figured it out. We're sitting.
I didn't choose the pod life.
It chose
pod
you.
life chose me.
You were chosen.
It did kind of seek you out.
You know it.
You chose it. You were like, that's my spot. I'm sitting in that chair.
Well, yeah, you're right. In this case, I did choose it.
I wouldn't have guessed like 5 years ago or whatever when I came to sit down with you that I would have been done this twice. When Will, we told that story before, but yeah, whenever Will said one night, years and years and years ago, I got something super fun to do, like we always do. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's go talk on the radio. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I had an hour's notice.
Who wants to do a podcast? I'm in.
Yeah. And I think I came over and I talked a little bit too much on that show.
No, it was perfect.
And, I mean, even from that till now, I would have never guessed we would have been all over the country and talked to people from all over the world and have working hand in hand with people and being able to like build that friendship, that brotherhood, like we say, being able to go places and help with their kids' youth field days and their events.
Yeah.
And like spending nights at people's homes that have been on our podcast and became family.
You're getting nostalgic, bud.
I'm saying
I'm liking this.
It's really been a really good trip. Thank you. It's been fun. We've got to do things in our lives that we could have never done without this podcast or the Brotherhood. And now that we're taking bigger and better steps to make it more legit for everybody to succeed, not just us but other people, it's only going to explode bigger.
I've always wondered why, even other podcasters, why we don't band together and just set the world on fire. And I can only think of one reason, is it's such a personalized journey. Every podcast is a little different. Everything that
they're living things.
Yeah, you kind of just set it free is what you do. You don't really make a podcast. You just
let it evolve.
Yeah. And so having that kind of mindset, it opens your world up to everything that you've ever wanted, and it's there. You find out that it's there, but there's a lot to do. in between to get there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful part, So, we've had a lot of ups and downs, and we've had to learn. This journey for us has been, we learn how to talk, we learn how to open up, we learn how to, because one thing that you don't see a lot of dudes doing, even on a poker night or whatever, is just guys getting around and opening up. You know? We just don't talk. And that's one thing that I've struggled with forever, is just
most of your life.
Yeah,
I've never done it until I've been on this podcast. I've been a very shut down person my whole life.
It's easy to do, It's easy to be that way, be inward, and just have a lot of, I still have a lot of thoughts about what you guys are saying, but that I don't say. But I've been able to. I've been open.
I finally had an outlet to get all those. That's why I step over myself, because I've had 40 years of just Bucky traveling around in my like a shot ricocheting around my brain, and this podcast has been the outlet to finally let that energy go.
I think, too, because what Buck is saying for all of us is that sincerity and that honesty that we've learned has made our guests and our family that we've created even stronger. And I think that's why so many people in the industry do like to work with us and want to continue, is because you literally, once again, have 7 new best friends.
Yeah.
That not only want to see you succeed or help you with marketing or help you with getting your name out there, whether you're the little guy or you've been in it for 50 years. When we try to go do something, we don't stop.
No, you don't, and you don't get an editor. You don't get just a producer. You get all of us doing. We all kind of have roles, and we know that it's a massive machine that can get you legs instantly.
What other place in the world can literally call up Will Miser and say, "Hey, man, I need you to edit this podcast for me, or get me on my feet, or we want to start a podcast." At the same time on Saturday, be like, "Hey, your brother Catfish, can you send him over to fix my boat motor?" Like, he'll drive to Virginia, or
absolutely.
I want to go shad fishing with your buddies, and we have somebody to hook you up with. Like, it's really truly turned into something unique. It's a full circle.
Yeah.
And if you just enter in to talk with us on the podcast, or see us at a show, or have us work with some of your stuff, you're in the circle. And it's kind of sometimes hard to get out of it. It's like gravity.
You're stuck with this.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So this next phase that you're talking about, Will, is us offering services to people that maybe want to start podcasting, because we're well over 200 episodes now. We've talked with everybody from the guy next door to guys that have been on
reality
the
TV.
moon.
The moon, basically.
Fished on the moon.
Yeah, guys that have fished and hunted on the moon. So the service is, we're able to offer that service to other people to help them get legs, basically, in podcasting, whether it's how to book guests, how to edit a podcast, how to do show notes, how to find a host,
how not to do some of that stuff.
We
already went through and beat our head against the wall on a lot of those things.
Yeah. So how to filter through having content each week. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
How to get the courage to come back when you had a bad week behind the mic.
That is true.
We've all have, I think, come through personal battles.
Yeah.
With
this isn't a good one for me. I'm just kidding.
If you lose an entire Christmas episode that you planned,
sometimes you lose an episode.
Yeah.
What do you do? You drop one or two.
Pretty sure I haven't heard Ryan's deer story yet.
I'll tell you about that sometime.
Well, here's the thing, man. As long as we've been in this, and I remember the day of us all laying in the grass, looking up, trying to think of a name for this, trying to pin down who we are, and it wasn't easy. It's not easy to put a label on a bunch of, a brotherhood that cares about each other, that wants to do something together. And
no, that's the worst thing. How do you encompass that? Where did you start? And we didn't take it lightly, and it
never stops growing.
Yeah. And how do you do it? You have we never settled until we all liked it. That was crazy. That was a great thing
Till we
did.
were all ready. Does it sound good? Yeah, I mean, like we've said it before. We what 6 months of podcasts in the can that'll never see the light.
Yeah,
That's probably a good thing. I don't think some of those early ones actually were. I don't actually think some of those stories might have been told on a real podcast.
But
they
it
were all
was
practice.
needed. But it was needed to be done to get to where we were. And,
That's what he says. He doesn't run with scissors.
But wow, I mean, it was reassuring for us all, though.
Yeah,
you know. I guess where we go one, we go all.
We're not going to let you in on all the little Easter eggs and secrets of what we're doing, but Will is the guys, and Will's got a busy month ahead of him. But things are coming down the pike here. Where if you're listening to this and you have any inclination on just trying to get, I don't even know how what the words are tough. If you're trying to get your name out there, if you're just trying to make it, Will can help. You know, we can help. You know, give him a holler, call him. And that's the nice thing is it's not when you call Will, he's like, it is a brother. It's not like you're calling an editor and be like, hey man, I need you to work on this, and you know the guy's first name.
Yeah.
You know, call Will at 2 a.m. I do sometimes. Hey, I got a question. You know, so
yeah. If you're interested in learning how to start a podcast, we can absolutely help. So,
if you're just looking,
info at RuttenRiverPursuits.com.
Cool.
Bam. Noise.
I could talk for like 20 more minutes about how great you guys are, but I would never tell you that.
He never says
does that. Never out loud.
I don't honestly know if we've ever had anything more current than that current right there.
That was fun.
It was. And
the current is current.
The crazy thing is while you guys listen to future currents, things are going to be even bigger. It's going to be great. There's a lot of things happening this year.
Yeah, we got a big year going, and you know, with a lot of activities, we can't, you know, a lot of it's not solid yet, so you can't really just divulge anything. But like a lot of stuff's in the works, and you know, we're gonna have you guys riding along for sure.
You know what is solid?
March Striper Month.
That's solid. What else is solid?
Oyster Reefs.
We're going shad fishing.
Oyster Reefs.
With George the second week in April.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
I don't know what day.
So I can go.
But that's pretty solid. You know what else is solid? I just signed Deke up for Stitch Fix.
Hello, Deke.
That's good. Where are you hiding all your boxes at?
I can't wait till we all get pictures of him in his outfits.
I know. Is there a dude Stitch Fix?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, absolutely.
You didn't sign up for the chick one.
Dang it. This trout basket doubles as a personal clutch for your evening activities.
No,
it's a krill.
It's true. Mike at work does it.
A krill clutch. A krill clutch.
I can't wait to model that.
Now
stuff
I
for you
want
guys.
one.
Me too.
I'm not picking on. I think it's a great idea. Some other dude goes shopping for me and sends it to my house. I put it on, and if I don't like it, I send it back.
His box is from the Yellow Breeches line. His first.
That's it. I don't like going shopping anyhow. So black hoodies, ripped up jeans, black hats. Send them to me.
Send them.
What a week, guys! When we're not signing up on
Stitch Fix
Fix.
for dudes.
They're blowing holes in carburetors.
Where can they find us?
Check us out at RuttenRiverPursuits.com. And as always, we are available on all your social media platforms. We got the Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter.
Don't forget the YouTubes.
And, of course, the YouTube channel. Just search Rutten River Pursuits Podcast. The podcast itself, always available on Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Oh, we like that Spotify.
Love it.
Liking the Spotify
is awesome.
Love me some Spotify.
I don't know. I like the Spotify one.
Guys, I'm hungry.
I am.
Are you?
I'm actually hungry too.
Do
You got a
tell
hankering.
Sir Bucks a lot.
You got yourself a hankering.
I got some hankering for some jerky on the way home.
Teriyaki jerky.
Why don't you grab something out of that case of hams you got?
I
keep talking about.
But that won't fill me up though, like a Samoza's family jerky will.
I
Steve.
heard that.
Yeah, especially if you go to the website.
Really?
mfjerky.com.
And put in Jerky Pursuits 15.
Correct.
Ooh, get
Getting
15% off.
It's
The whole website.
How you doing?
All of it, even the coffee.
You got jerky?
You
Yes,
got
they
jerky.
do.
It's almost fishing season. Throw that stuff in your backpack and let's get on the river.
Exactly.
Amen.
Love it.
All right, guys. See you next week.
See ya.
Screaming namies. Crab
I'm not doing it.
With or without the scooter sticks.
I'm not participating.
This is the first.
Talk about pure courtesy and short drifting little girls like you.
One time.
Well,
You push one little girl off
One
the
time.
pier.
She went to get her Kool-Aid and he stole her rod.
Oh, she kept catching them and Why does one little kid need to catch all those fish?
That's too funny. I love it.
I don't know. It might be too early, but I don't care. We're gonna roll the dice.
you're a lot like Jimmy cracking corn.
We went early last year.
What? I don't get it. No.
Nary a care
I
was
got
given.
I got out of the truck with a coat, a hoodie, a coat, wearing rubber waders and boots last year. Bucky pulls that cord, about punches himself in the jaw.
First time in my life I get the strength of Samson.
I walked over. There's bears around. He's holding his cord up in his hand like it's a decapitated statue. Like,
It's like, oh, it was like Tommy Boy. What did you do, Richard?
that was good. I remember that.